Afternoon.
How are you?
Hello. Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, it does that. You'll be sick of me soon.
Not the Premier League doing that.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. I missed you.
Okay, good afternoon. We'll start with the usual TV and broadcast section, and then we'll go on to the daily newspapers after. We'll begin with Jamie and Sky Sports News. Away you go.
Good afternoon, Graham.
Afternoon.
23 days between getting the job and a first league game in the middle of a season must be a record. Has it been a good thing getting your feet on the table, getting to know the place, or has it been a bad thing? You've just been chomping a bit and getting ready to go?
Probably a bit of both, if I'm honest. We've used the time to get to know people in an environment where there's not the games, and at the same time we're itching to go, itching to play, because that's really when you find out about everything and you learn a lot and you make progression. So, we couldn't really control anything in terms of how things have panned out, in terms of the cancellations. International break is what it is. So then we just have to make the most of it, and now we're looking forward to the start again. Is
a Graham Potter Chelsea side going to look fundamentally different to Thomas Tuchel one in terms of the system, the style you play, the personnel you use as well?
Well, I think everybody's got a slightly different idea on football, and I don't get too wound up about that, to be honest. It's more that's more a choice that we all make, and the job then is to make our choices work. Huge respect for Thomas and his teams, so I'm certainly not in the business of comparing myself to him or to anybody else. I've just got to try to put a team out on the pitch, like I said at my first press conference, that is recognisable, that is something that the supporters are proud of, and ultimately is a winning football team. That's the challenge.
In terms of availability, N'Golo Conte, Edouard Mendy, they're both trained, are they both available, and other injury news?
No, they're not. They're absolutely fine in terms of coming through the rehab stages. Ng's just been on the grass with the team, but not really full training. Eddie's a bit further on, but still hasn't had enough to be involved at the weekend, really. So, but maybe next week for him. Got a bit of illness with Marc Cucurella and Carney. Apart from that, everybody's fit.
The irony won't be lost on you that your first game in charge of Chelsea is away to Crystal Palace. What sort of reception are you expecting for a former Brighton manager?
Oh, I'm sure it'll be a nice one, absolutely nice, friendly one, definitely. But it wasn't. It's always. I like the atmosphere there. It's a proper football stadium. The supporters get behind the team. They make it difficult for the away side, whoever it is. So we're looking forward to that. Looking forward to that challenge. But as I said before, the boys are ready. The boys are itching to play, I think, and yeah, can't wait.
So much.
Alex Aljo, LP.
How are you?
Hi.
How difficult is it selecting your starting 11 when you've only had 3 players with you during break?
Well, it's just part of the job. It's part of the challenge. It is what it is. We can do some thinking while they're away, and you can do some analysis, and you can watch games. But in the end, you've got to start somewhere. We've got a lot of games to come. It's obviously well documented the amount of games we have, which is great because you can see all the players. There'll be lots of competition. Everybody's ready. The group are looking forward to playing. So it's never easy picking a team because you've always got good players and good options. But we can deal with that.
Patrick Vieira has always said how much he admires you as a manager. What do you think of the job that he's done at Palace?
He's done a fantastic job. I mean, I think he built on the foundations that Royce laid in terms of a defensive structure. Added some really good attacking players, not just in the attacking positions. I think the centre-backs have made a difference to them in terms of how they defend and how they build their attacks. Always difficult to play against. Patrick's team's well organised, good spirit, epitomises him as a player as well. So, I think he's done a really good job there.
You'll get to beat Palace in 7 managerial meetings. Is tomorrow a good chance to change that stat?
I miss those stats that bring a bit of negativity. Yeah, well, it just goes to show how the Premier League is and how tough it is. We've had some tough games against Palace, some games where we could have maybe won, but it is what it is. The margins are small, but that's history. We're looking forward to the game on Saturday and maybe changing that record.
Moose talks sport.
Graham, it's great to see you. Yesterday, Antonio Conte said the fixture schedule between now and the World Cup, to use his word, was crazy because you're playing so many games in a short space of time. You just hinted there you're more excited about that.
Well, I can understand where he's coming from, but from my perspective, I see it as a positive. I think it's a chance for us to play. We haven't played for a while. We've got a good group, a big group that are all itching to play. Good competition in the squad. So, bring it on.
A lot of people will be interested to see how you get on with and how he gets on with you in terms of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who was a signing very much Thomas Tuchel wanted to make before he left here. Are you looking forward to working with him?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with him. I've enjoyed working with him in the brief time that we've been together. You can see he's a good guy, focused, wants to do well, wants to play, wants to score. So I'm really enjoying it.
Is there a bit of an idea of redemption for him going back into Premier League action?
Well, I'm not sure. I think you probably have to speak to him about that. He's got nothing to prove to me or anything negative in that regard. I mean, his career is his career. I have a huge respect for that. My job now is to help him enjoy his football, help him be part of what we're trying to do here. He's acted as a top professional, top person. So, really looking forward to working with him.
And lastly from me, before you came to Chelsea, you signed a couple of players, young players at Brighton, B. Gilmore and Levi Colwell. So and judging from when you were at Brighton, you enjoy giving young players an opportunity. So the likes of Mason Mount, Conor Gallagher, some of the young players that are exciting that come through at Chelsea, can they expect to be given a proper opportunity under you?
Well, I don't know whether it's expect. I think it's all young players have to hope that they get an opportunity. I guess that's normal. They put themselves in there in training and games and have to earn the right to play. I think that's fair. And obviously at a club like ours, the competition for places is huge, so everybody has to fight no matter how old they are. But if the quality's there, then age should be no barrier. Thank you.
John Southall, 5 line.
Hi, John.
Obviously, as we've said there, you haven't had the players together for a while. How long do you think it's going to be to get everybody on your wavelength, playing your style of football? Are you going to need a bit of patience from people along the way?
Well, I don't want to be that guy that's asking for time, John. But I think everybody would say that the coaching process, that type of development, it helps if you have time. But I understand we're in a world where there isn't a lot of patience either. So I've never been one of those guys that asks for time. All I can do is try my best, try to improve, try to work with the players, and then whatever people think from the outside is nothing I can control.
As we said, you've got 9 games coming up in October, which is good because you get playing time. But on the flip side of that, it means you're not going to get the time on the training ground. Is that going to make it harder?
Well, I think it's just a challenge, and again, in an ideal situation, we'd all like an ideal world, but this is not an ideal world, and I'm not certainly going to complain about that. It's what I have to deal with and what we have to work with. We have to be smart with how we work, smart with how we use our time. But in a world where there's lots of challenges, I don't think they want to hear about me complaining about less time on the pitch in a Premier League match.
You've been here 3 weeks. What have you made of it? Has anything surprised you at all about the place? No, I don't think surprised. No, I've been really positively happy with how everybody's welcomed me, the feeling I've got at Cobham at the training ground. The players have been amazing, very open, very honest. There's a real good group here with good experienced players, some nice young ones that are also ambitious. So good group, good mix. It's just been really surreal because we haven't had games and then it's gone into an international break. So I'm looking forward to getting going tomorrow. Yeah, and just finally, would you say is the biggest challenge ahead for you here?
Well, we've got, I think it's 6 weeks, 13 matches, and quickly it's understanding all the players, making sure we're using them in the right way, winning football matches in the toughest league in the world with Champions League as well. So that's going to be the challenge in the short term that I'm thinking about. Thank you.
PA, Nick.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
Obviously there's been a lot of change at the club in a short space of time, which is understandable for many reasons, isn't it? Is that a good thing? Does it just kind of show the impetus that the new owners are bringing? And the other thing is, the other thing I wondered about was obviously the aims for a season for a club like Chelsea are always clear: top 4, Champions League, have a good sort of hit out of that. Do you sort of see those aims as vital for you? How do you view it? Is it vital to get in the top 4 and make a dent into the Champions League, or is it sort of a bit less finding that given the circumstances?
Well, I think the first thing to say is change is good and it's bad and it's challenging. It's all those things. It's how you deal with it. It's how you work with it. So I think it's well documented what's happened in terms of ownership and new coach and different people. It's part of life sometimes. It's just how we manage it. And back to the question before, in terms of a challenge, in terms of maybe a bit more than a short-term challenge, it's how you align the resources that you have, how you align the football idea with everything you've got to make it successful. Because the past or resources or history doesn't guarantee you anything in this league, because you can see already that you can. There's lots of clubs that have spent a lot of money and haven't achieved things that they want to. So it's about getting everything lined up and everyone working together and the strategy clear. And then whether things are vital sounds a bit life or death, and it sounds a bit dramatic, to be honest, but I understand the question. It is what it is. I can't control what people's perception of what we do or not. Rather than worry about what we're going to do in May or June, I just focus on the next match and the next training session, try to improve the team.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Cameras off, please, at the back.